Passwords are super annoying and we're expected to remember hundreds of them. That's just annoying and wicked impossible. And on top of that, people who aren't even serious about cybersecurity are definitely not going to remember passwords. So we reuse these passwords. People create weak ones. They rely on password managers, which is awesome, but they can still be hacked because they're just software. But what if I could tell you there was a technology that could absolutely eliminate passwords completely while making your accounts more secure? Today, we're diving into passkeys. You may already have seen these getting deployed out across applications that you're already using, but they are a password killer, and I'm absolutely pumped about it. And I brought my friend Ryan from Brews Hacks, a YouTube channel where you can catch pen testing walkthroughs for beginners outside of controlled labs, and he's going to break down passkeys and everything about them in this video. Let's go. Listen, before we get into the video, Ryan had a little bit of issues with his video. His audio's crispy, but his video's a little choppy. Don't think that's a reflection of his content on his channel. It's just the way this video got recorded. Enjoy the conversation. Now, before we get to Ryan's hot takes on passkeys, let's make sure that we're all on the same page about what passkeys actually are. Like I said in the intro, you may have seen these getting rolled out where you go to log into a website and it's like, would you like to use your passkey? And you go ahead and click it, and then like nothing happens. Well, you should think of passkeys as keys that unlock your accounts just like a password would, but unlike passwords, you don't have to remember them. And I know it almost seems like magic that you just click the button and you log in and wicked and secure, but they are. They use biometric authentication that you already trust, like your fingerprint, your face, or a PIN, not necessarily biometric, that you would use to like unlock your phone or something like that. And when you log into a website or an application, instead of typing that password, your device actually would create a digital signature that proves it's really you. And we're going to get into the details of this, but essentially there is a relationship between your device and the application or system that you're authenticating to, and that's what the passkey is. Now, the magic, if you want, behind a passkey is public key cryptography, or PKI, which we've had around forever, and this is like a banger of a utility case for it. So when you create a passkey, right, your device generates two mathematically related keys, a private key that stays on your device, and then a public key, which goes to the application or the system or whatever that you're going to authenticate to. And that public key can't be used to figure out your private key. That's like one of the wicked cool benefits of asymmetric encryption. So a hacker would literally have to have both your physical device and whatever biometric data to get in or the PIN to use it, and all of this. It makes it incredibly difficult. No more just data dumps and getting passwords and then doing credential stuffing. The passkeys solve that, and on top of it, you don't have to remember the friggin' password in the first place. I think it's awesome for those reasons, but let me give you just a quick bullet point on why you should be using passkeys as often and as widely as you can. Number one, the obvious one, you don't have to memorize anything anymore, which means your users, your family, your grandparents, they don't need to remember anything either, which means they're not going to be using the same password all over the place. It's phishing proof, as I just outlined what a hacker would need to have in order to, get into your account. They're hack resistant, so if a hacker gets into the actual application or the business where you're logging in and authenticated and does some type of data breach, good luck. You can have my public key, bro. Like, it's not going to do you much good. And of course, reusing passwords across systems no longer is an issue because the passkey is actually unique to that application or that system or that website, every single one. So you can have passkeys all over the place, but they're all unique unto each other. And a cool thing is that they can sync across devices. Some systems will allow you to sync those passkeys across the devices, so you're not just locked into one laptop or one phone, like you got to carry it, or if you drop it in a toilet or leave it in an Uber, you're absolutely screwed. Now, let's throw it over to Ryan at Hacks and Brews and get his hot takes on passkeys. Ryan, what do you think, man?
A few things before I get started on my thoughts. First and foremost, when we decided to do this collab here, like, you had no idea what passkeys were all about, so that introduction was like leaps and bounds past where we were when we planned this. So that's pretty cool. Great job.
Well, no, and the cool thing is, like, when I want to learn something, I'm like, okay, like let's figure it out, because I want to build that foundation so I can talk about it. Yeah.
And like doing stuff like this, like teaching when I learn, that's like, that really helps to set in.
Oh yeah, the Feynman method for sure.
Mm-hmm. So hot takes. Yeah, Kia Ora friends. I also wanted to say that the reason that we're here is because we are just some cybersecurity nerds, and we both have Aunt Dorotheas in our lives that we want them to stop reusing the same password over and over again, and they refuse to use password managers. So passkeys would have been like a really great solution to that to stop password reuse. And then, like you had brought up in the explanation, that it would have gotten rid of password dumps from websites because there's no secrets for the web server to keep. So for the hot takes, I wanted to look at this from two perspectives, right? You've got business and then you've got consumer. First, starting with the consumer side, because that's when I got interested, because again, I want to stop the Endorphias in my life from getting pwned like this. There was a little bit of a lost opportunity because of that issue where if something happens to your device, if you lose it, if it's broken, it becomes a real headache just to get back into that whatever connection for whatever web server, whatever service. That creates a barrier for the consumer side. And then also for the business side, it's a great opportunity. And I think that's why Microsoft and Google and Apple are all jumping on top of passkeys, because that creates a vendor lock-in for their business customers, so business to business customers. Like if you have a Windows Salesforce, you're going to have the Windows passkeys, they have the Windows Hello is their authentication on that device, and then that will get them into whatever websites they need connection to for that business purpose. If something happens to the laptop, then that's fine because you have to go through all the normal business steps anyway if something happens to the laptop. The hindrance comes where if you're in a situation like me, where I do, different coding and stuff on a Mac, and then I've got other services that I need to use on the Windows, then you can't log into the same places with the same passkeys, but there is that workaround with the QR code. So that being there, I haven't gotten to the hot takes yet. I've just gotten to these different perspectives that I think that passkeys would have been good for and those missed opportunities. So digging a little deeper to the missed opportunities, what about those edge cases? Like, I'm not trying to throw out people in poverty, but people in poverty that don't have personal devices. They have to go to the library. What do? Because of those edge cases, like there's still going to be those workarounds with emails and passwords, and I forgot my password, the email button. So that weakest link in the security is still going to come down on the consumer level. So that's kind of a downside for the consumer level. But again, for business to business, this is a huge thing for vendor lock-in, which is why all these different mega companies are jumping onto it.
Yeah, it's a good point about the digital divide, and the digital divide's one term I've heard used, and then also I guess technical poverty or something. The inability to give consideration. The people who don't have access to it are going to be further behind instead of given opportunities to kind of catch up, and these socioeconomic groupings will get wider from each other than trying to like bring people up and get access to opportunities. Yeah, that's a great point.
Well, yeah, so we didn't even get to the hot takes yet. We just got on to what my boilerplate is for these hot takes. So the vendor lock-in, I mean, I've been using it kind of casually up until this point, but that really kind of boils my blood because it just feels wrong to have the vendor lock-in. Like we should have like these third-party devices or applications. Like YubiKey is where this got started, right? So it's a FIDO fast identity online device. The limitation was that it can only save up to 25 keys. And then you had those YubiKeys where you could have like the biometrics included as well, right? So now we've basically got that on our phones, but on the phone, if you have an iPhone, then all of your passkeys are going to be an iPhone and you can't move on to Android or something else. And it does create a hindrance if like you happen to forget your phone and you're at the library and trying to log into something. That's a really crazy edge case because I think everybody basically wouldn't leave the house without their phone wallet keys, right? So
right, 100%.
But then also like if something happened to your phone, we already talked about that. Like a third party like Bitwarden, if you could save all your passkeys in that, which you can, but it kind of defeats the purpose with having that device private key because now you're saving individual keys somewhere that could be extracted if your master password was found out. So yeah, the vendor lock-in is probably the biggest thing that boils my blood because I feel like there should have been just that private key that you had that didn't have to be attached to a device. You could take it with you with any device, and then that would set up all your public keys. But then that becomes an issue of the onus. Who's going to take the ownership in that case? Because then the web servers would be responsible for saving all these different passkeys, and instead of just making an individual secret for that one-time connection in the challenge. So,
well, I was going to say, I mean, that's kind of like what a hardware key proposes to do. And what you're pointing out is one of the reasons why PKI has had a scale issue historically is because it's messy. To put it plainly.
Yeah, that's my biggest hot take, because I feel like there was this awesome opportunity to go completely passwordless, but now there's going to be issues coming down the pipe where it's going to put a hiccup in this, and we're still going to need that email and password backup, and the email is still going to be the weakest link for the authentication. So,
hot takes from my man Ryan at Brews Hacks. Go check his YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below. My hot takes, man, I got to tell you, number one, people need to definitely use passkeys, but keep in mind that this just fixes the authentication thing. Like, if you log in and get a session token or something, someone rips that, you're screwed. Like, this isn't a silver bullet, okay? It's just defense in depth. But my big hot take, if you will, and I'm going to use passkeys all over the place, so I'm not dunking on them, but the transition to full passkeys everywhere is going to be wicked messy, and it's going to take years. And I don't know if you're necessarily going to be getting all the value of security unless you sign up and it's a passkey from Go. Most of these sites that I'm using right now that I have passkeys, I have a password also. So you can authenticate using either mechanism. And some sites you authenticate in the first time and they're like, oh, hey, would you like to use a passkey going forward? And you're like, sure. The username and password is still there. So unless they're going to expire your password as soon as you start using a passkey or do something else, we're still going to have that potential attack vector, and we're not even going to know it because we're going to be like, oh, like whatever, this site got hacked, no big deal because I use passkeys. And in reality, the password you set up 3 years ago when you first got your account is pwned. And if you go back to the original users in the Antorthillas of the world who have one password that they use all over the place, you're still going to experience that problem. So I think passkeys are great. I just think the transition is going to be very messy. It's going to take a long time. And I think there's going to be a lot of unnecessary vestigial risk that just kind of lingers and hangs out that people aren't going to be given consideration to. I don't want to be cynical, but I do think that
it's okay. I'm being cynical too. It's okay. I did want to touch back on one thing that you pointed out with the session token. Disclaimer to everybody watching, like, neither of us are experts on this.
Right.
We're literally just hanging out talking about passkeys. But I'm pretty sure that if it's implemented correctly, a session token wouldn't be an issue because the challenge is continuously made using that private key, public key connection. So every single challenge is unique, and it wouldn't be a problem with a session token if it's implemented correctly by the web server. But I could be wrong.
I'm Googling it right now. Passkeys do not directly prevent session token theft, but they do provide a significant security improvement. And then according to a blog at Abnormal, passkeys will make your account more resistant to session hijacking. So I think it might be in the implementation of the way that the sessions are being queried by the web service. So again, the devil's in the details on these type of things.
Oh yeah.
So it may or may not provide value, but it's not a bullet. It's not a silver bullet for sure.
And I mean, nothing is like, this is just another piece of that long list of things where we've got this juggling act between security and usability. So yeah.
So if you're convinced and you want to start using passkeys today, I've got great news for you because it's already quite, rampant. Apple, Google, Microsoft, they already support them. Major sites like Google, PayPal, Best Buy, financial ones, they're rolling out support for it as well. So if you want, next time you're logging in somewhere, look in your settings, look in security, look to see if passkey, P-A-S-S-K-E-Y, passkey options are available, or when you're even creating new accounts and you're setting up that initial authentication. I mean, sometimes they just push you to a password, but sometimes they give you options. If passkey is an option, I strongly recommend you choose it. So what do you think about passkeys? Did we get anything wrong in this video? Do you have a hot take about passkeys and what it's going to look like in the future? And if you're ready to ditch passwords forever, get on the train. I'm the engineer, all aboard. I'm all for it. Let us know in the comments below. Thanks to Ryan from Brews Hacks for joining us today and making this content. Make sure to check out his channel for more on the pen testing side. Thanks. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Catch you in the next one.